Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Isaac Fogarty, and we are here for round 4 of the Trackstars Touring Car Series here. This is the community voted round at Alsace in the French countryside. And this is the track that was, as I said, community voted, so selected by our drivers as to where they would like to race. I believe it was hotly contested between this and Road Atlanta, but nevertheless, France is the way we have chosen to go for this evening. Wherever you're watching from right around across Australia, New Zealand, or the world, we welcome your company here to Trackstars and our YouTube channel. And of course, my name is Isaac Fogarty. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today. And we're looking forward to this race. Obviously, we missed out last time out. There was an issue with the broadcasting and the access to the replay for round 3 at Daytona, but we can remind you of those results. So if you missed out on seeing what those results are, let's have a look now. So it was, in fact, Matt Dernedde that took out his maiden win in the Trackstars Touring Car Series, the main category, the main game, you could call it. And then it was Rooke Smith in second place, ahead of Ian Ward in third. So a bit of a different podium. Surprisingly, Ridwan Ibn Hamza was off the podium in that round, the third race of the season. Then it was McSweeney and Justin Ladaway in 5th and 6th. So Ridwan's key championship rival missing out on a great opportunity to score some points, get on the podium. Did not manage to do it there. But then we had Matt McCallum, the other CP Motorsports car. And it was Nick Scott, followed by Les Sandwith getting himself inside the top 10. What a drive from him. Well done. And then it was Dallitz, who was the wild card entry, found himself inside the top 10 as well. Nick Pautasso, a rough race for him at Daytona, was 11th. And it was Costa Rock, then Duncan, and then Smith rounded out the grid or the field for that race, I should say. And what a race it was, and it was such a shame that we couldn't bring you that one. But let's have a look at what that did for our championship. So it's still Ridwan Ibn Hamza that leads the way from Darren McSweeney, and that is a 86-point gap, I want to say, coming into this round. So a fairly healthy gap for our championship leader, our reigning champion. Then it's Justin Ladaway, Matt McCallum, Nick Pautasso, who will miss tonight. So potentially could lose some key positions here if drivers around him score well. Then it's Les Sandwith in 6th, Nick Scott, Costa Rock, Ian Ward, and Rooke Smith in 10th place, so rounding out the top 10 of our drivers' standings. And then, of course, it is our team standings. So FR leads the way, only 61 points, though, clear of CP Motorsports. Could there be an opportunity tonight for CP to claw back some more of that margin? Then it's ART Motorsport in 3rd. Then it's WRT Motorsport. Then it's Team XV in 5th. Mash Spuds Racing is 6th, and PH Esports is 7th, rounding out the field. And they missed out on a driver last time out, but they have got a new driver with Bryant stepping away from the series. It is Bob Norley, or you got to be joking, jumping into that car for the foreseeable future. And we welcome Bob to the series. Let's have a look at where we're racing tonight. Our community voted round, and we are at Alsace in the French countryside for the Alsace 250. It's a 5.4 kilometer circuit, I should say. 17 corners, 450 meter straight. Only the one race tonight, 47 laps, 255 kilometers, and the only tire available this evening is that medium tire, and not a lot of straights. The longest straight, 450 meters. That's not a lot of room for our drivers to try and make some use of that slipstream. So we could see the Lexus maybe perform well here tonight. Who knows? We'll keep an eye on it. But with the lack of straights that favors that Nissan so well, the Lexus could play a big factor here this evening. Let's have a look at our qualifying results. So it is Ridwan Ibn Hamza on pole, and the championship leader making his stamping his authority early in this qualifying session after a long break. We're back behind the wheel of these cars, and it is Justin Ladaway in second place, so he gets himself onto the front row of the grid. Great result from the CP driver. And then it's Darren McSweeney. Then it's Bob Norley on debut up into P4. What a result for the PHG driver. Then it's Ian Ward in 5th. Matt McCallum in 6th, rounding out the 3rd row of the grid. 4th row of the grid is a sort of a Team XV reunion. Les Sam with the Matt Dernedde. These guys have raced with each other before and in teams together before. So it's a bit of reunion for those two. And then it's Duncan in 9th, Costa Rock 10th, Scott 11th, and George Smith rounding out 12th place. Only 12 cars on the grid tonight. We are missing Nick Pautasso, and I believe we are missing, just trying to look here, quick scan through who is also missing a logo. I believe it is Luke Smith. So there is no Luke Smith this evening either. So we are down 2 drivers, 2 big names in this series not racing this evening. But that is the pre-race brief. That is everything that's going to be happen prior to the race today. Now we have 250 kilometers ahead of our drivers. And who will come out on top? Will Ridwan convert from pole to the win? Let's jump down to the circuit because it is time to find out. Here we go. We are at 5 lights. The lights are out and we are away. What a start for our championship leader. It's a great start all the way through the field for all of our drivers. Up into turn 1, Justin Ludaway has a little look to the inside. DJ is going to try and hang it around the outside. McSweeney, there's a little bit of contact between McSweeney and Jokin. And McSweeney is facing the wrong way now and will be dead last. And that is very frustrating for him. No damage though, thankfully. Is there damage on the car of Yugo to Bioka? Bob Norley, does he carry a little bit of damage there? No, he gets away with it. So no damage here early on in this race, which is crucial. But look how loose that car is. This is not good. 3 wide almost into, that is turn 5, I believe. And Yugo to Bioka, you got to be joking. The Swedish chef, he is cooking up early here. And we're getting cooked early here, I should say. He's gone from 4th on the grid all the way back to 9th. And Darren McSweeney will be super frustrated because he's all the way at the back of the pack. Jokin looks up the inside there. Norley of his teammate Duncan does make his way through. Now sets after Costa Rock. But it is this man here, our championship leader, Ridwan Ibn Hamza, that leads the way. So he gets off to the perfect start. Justin Ludaway sits in 2nd place, and then it is Ward in 3rd. Matt Dernedde up to 4th off the start. So after being further back in qualifying, he's off to a great start up the order here and making advantage of those tyres early. And the Lexus is really good in the corners, so he'll want to take full advantage of that at this early stage of the race. And just sort of start to settle into a rhythm now as we look at Matt McCallum. He's coming under a little bit of pressure from Costa Rock, who's had a blinder of a start here. And we're just getting a track map up as we go so that we can get the corner numbers right. Do not want to mess up those corner numbers at any point, because if we get one wrong, you guys will be sure to let me know. Of course, I always appreciate being told if I get something wrong. Constructive feedback, you know, it's good for you. But here we go. So this battle is raging on. We're only on lap 2 here, and these guys are getting the gloves off early. And he's not quite close enough, the WRT car, this time to make anything happen. But he's going to keep with him. He's performing a little bit of a train. You don't want to get too far away, I think, here from a driver. You don't want to fall back too bit. We've got a little bit going on in the background here. Milky's going to have a look at the inside of Warpig. We've got cars side by side everywhere. This is Jokin as well, going side by side. There's a little bit of touching, and Jokin is off the road. That is Norley. Run wide, force wide, and now he will have to settle into last place, which I'm sure he will not be super thrilled about. The Swedish chef is known for taking things super well like that, and I'm sure he'll have some choice words for the driver that's pushed him wide. But it's been a rough start for this man on our screen. Welcome to Track Stars indeed, Bob Norley. The gloves go off very quickly here. Nobody mucks around. And we all like to let you know, if you're going to hang out with us, absolutely in for a ride. Callum there on your screen, testing a new wheel now. Was on a Logitech G Pro for most of this, well, the first 3 rounds of the season. Recently acquired a Fanatec, I believe it's a DD Plus. So super powerful wheel. Had a couple issues with that as well. But hopefully there's no issues for him tonight. Would love to see him get a good result. He's been brought undone a couple times so far this season, which has been frustrating to see. We don't like to see that. So hopefully, for the sake of this man on screen, he will continue to have a good race today. We'd love to see him come home with a very strong result. Indeed, that would be a wonderful thing for this young man. I don't know if he's a young man, but he's a young Kiwi. I'm going to call him a young man anyway. Look further up the field. This is Matt Dernedde, another young man doing great things at the moment in sim racing in multiple platforms. None less than GT7 race winner last time out as well. This man, Mash Spuds Racing, first Mash Spuds race winner in quite a while. Team owner Nick Pautasso was very happy about that one. Very stoked to see this young man get up on the top step after a brilliant strategy. Got him ahead of Luke Smith in the dying stages of that race. Very aggressive racing between the two of them. A little bit wide there on the exit of turn, I believe that's turn 12. And the run down towards turn 15 now. In through 16. And then kink back through 17. That counts as a corner. Run down the front straight. But it is Ridwan Ibn Hamza that's sort of getting away from the man in second place, Justin Ladaway. And Ian Ward is not really... They're all sort of starting to find their own piece of real estate now, these guys. And it is a Nissan 1, 2, 3. So I thought maybe the Lexus would have an opportunity here to be strong. But so far, it's not proved me correct. There's only one Lexus in the top 5. Costa Rock is also a Nissan. And then Smithy now has a little look up the inside. That's very bold on the brakes. And this is McSweeney drives past his teammate there, lets him go. That's very smart racing between these two. And McSweeney's found his way back up towards the pointy end of this field. This has been a great recovery drive so far after that early lap 1 contact with Norley. Almost was facing the wrong way, I should say. And he'll now set after Costa Rock, who had a bit of an up and down season. Definitely not the result that he would be wanting so far. Doesn't sit inside the top 10 in the... Maybe he does sit inside the top 10 in the standings. Let's confirm that before I say that he doesn't. Coming into this round. Oh, stand by. Holds. He does. He sits 8th in the standings, just behind his teammate, actually. 1 point behind his teammate. So this will swing in his favour if he keeps this up today. And this will be a wonderful performance. But he's got Mr. McSweeney right on the back of him now. Here we go. A little bit of contact. And that's heavy into the wall for Costa Rock. That is heavy damage. That is front to rear, and that should be front end damage. No, he gets away with no damage there. And, oh, that is massive amounts of damage for Costa Rock. And we were just talking him up. And then contact into 15 between DJ and Costa Rock. And, a little bit of contact there with Warpig as well, with Duncan. And he's just struggling at the moment for rotation with that massive... Look at the front end. There's not a panel on the front end that isn't damaged. He's got front end bumper damage, suspension damage on both sides. He's got rear end damage as well. Now he's lagging around a little bit. It's all going on for Costa Rock at the moment. Samwith is sitting way down the back of the field at the moment. He must have had a spin somewhere because this is... he was up in 7th earlier, so this is very frustrating, I'm sure, for the famous man, Les Samwith. Likes to stream all his races. Runs a bit wide there as well. And you got to be joking. Also right down the back of the pack has come in for fuel. So both these guys have actually come into the pit lane. So early stops for these guys. Get them out of the way. Get yourself on a full tank of fuel. See how you go to the end of this race. And everyone starts to find their stations now. It's not really too much happening at the moment between most of these guys. Ward is sort of trying to set after Justin Ladaway here, but it's just giving Rooke Ibn Hamza even more license to just walk into the distance. Oh, a little bit squirrely there. Let's take you for a lap around this circuit on board with Ian Ward. Turn up the volume, enjoy this, because it is a very complicated, very technical circuit, so enjoy a lap. What a lap that is. What a circuit this is. And now we've got Matt McCallum catching up to Matt Dernedde. But you can just see from that onboard lap just how technical this track is. We'll try and get a few onboards with drivers throughout the race. It gets a bit lonely in the commentary box by myself. So we'll do our best to keep you engaged as possible watching along at home. And also bring you a few onboards here and there. If you're watching along live with the live premiere of the broadcast, then hello. Thank you very much for jumping in and checking out this race. Hopefully we can provide some good action for you to watch on your Wednesday evening. And what action this is at the moment between these two, starting to close in. Obviously races take place on a Sunday night, so it is a delayed broadcast, but that doesn't always mean that the racing is spoiled for anybody, because there's always something happening on track. And Matt McCallum slowly setting after Matt Dernedde. Is getting ever so close now. Look how close he is as they run into Sector 3 now. This is turn 11 on the run down to 12. Good exit here will set him up for 15. Because there's 2 corners through this section of the track. There's one here. This is a corner. And then this little kink back here is another corner. And then this is a braking zone into turn 15, 16, and 17. And I want to do what Formula 1 do, where they just hire a guy. They hire one person specifically to push a button to change what corner number they're up to. And that would be really helpful, because then I wouldn't have to look at multiple screens just to know where we're up to. But Sweeney's starting to invite himself into this party as well. So we've got a nice little three-way battle emerging for 4th place at the moment, doing 40.3, 40.4, 39.4. So Darren McSweeney is flying at the moment. He is on a charge to catch back up to these guys, reclaim that lost track position that he was cost on lap 1 after contact with Bob Norley early on in this race. So this is a very ever-evolving battle. We'll keep a very close eye on it, but happening further down the field. We've got Costa Rock repaired that damage and is starting to close in now on the man in front. I don't know if he did repair that damage. He must have. They 51. He must have come into the pit lane, but he didn't take fuel. Or maybe he did. No, he didn't take fuel or tyres? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Maybe both these guys pitted. They must have both pitted, but not taking a lot of fuel. Look at LJ struggling on those tyres at the moment. They're just so worn. And makes it so difficult to hold it onto the track. But going to prove challenging for all our drivers today. It's a lot of turning time around this circuit. A high intensity lap, asking quite a lot of the tyres. These guys are doing exactly that at the moment. Look at DJ all over the back of Matt McCallum now as they run across the start-finish line towards turn 1 of 39.8, plays a 40.7, a 40.8. So he's still a second a lap faster than these cars in front. He will slow down now that he has caught up to this pack, because now he has to try and find a way past. And there's plenty of opportunities to do that around here. It is a wide open flowing circuit. If you can get a nice run out of quite a lot of corners, you can set yourself up for some moves here and there. Through this sector would be a nice opportunity to make a move. A nice run out of here could set you up on the way down into turn 5. Not close enough this time around. Neither is Matt McCallum on Matt Dernedde. So the battle of the Matts plus Darren. Darren is, invited himself, McSweeney's invited himself into this party, to the Matt Fest, if you will. Look how close he is on exit. That's a beautiful exit for the ART driver. Can he get something done into the really sweeping turn 8? He's not going to be close enough. And he goes run the high line there. That's a very high-low corner. You can see the effect it has on those right-hand side tyres, especially that right front. Just how much turning time and how much work that right front is doing. And Matt McCallum goes up the inside of Matt Dernedde now. Here we go. Matt Dernedde's going to fight back into 12. And they're still side by side through 13, 14. They could go 3 wide here on the run into 15. Because McSweeney's going to fancy himself a move up the inside. They're still side by side through 15. 16 now. Matt Dernedde gets him back. And then DJ's having a look at Matt McCallum through 17. The run towards turn 1. Here we go. Is DJ going to get this done? He is. And he is through, and that is a positional loss for Matt McCallum. He drops back to 6th after all that. He was 4th at one stage. Matt Dernedde, for now, with a very, very worn front left tyre, is still in 4th, but he's got DJ behind, who has slightly better tyre life at the moment. Look at the grip difference he has there. Even just the most minute of tyre difference, or of tyre wear, sorry, can make the difference here at this circuit with the turning load. And how much is being asked of this car. He has a look to the inside now. Into 5, and he's not close enough. Oh, a little bit loose on the curb on the exit. This is great stuff. This is going to open the door for Matt McCallum to have another look back up the inside. They're going side by side again into turn 7. He's just not close enough again. He's got wonderful tyres. He's looked after these tyres brilliantly as Matt McCallum. I'm wondering why he's struggling for pace compared to the guys in front, because he has so much better tyre life compared to the 2 drivers that are in front of him at the moment. DJ has a little bit looking very late on the brakes from McSweeney. But Matt Dernedde was awake and aware to that. Through 12 they go now. Up the hill. Through 13 and 14, they'll kick to the left and kick to the right and kick to the left down to the heavy braking zone of 15. This is a very tricky braking zone down the hill as well. There's a little bit of touching there. Maybe some neck code between these two. Oh, a little bit of wall contact wasn't there for DJ, and that is DJ stays out, no damage. Matt Dernedde, though, into the lane for his first stop. So medium tyres going on for the MSR driver. Fuel going in as well. He'll give himself enough fuel to cover the stint. That'll do. A little bit of damage repair. Away he goes. Back out onto the circuit. So he does stay 6th, actually. So there was no positional losses. Smithy has a look up the inside of Costa Rock here into 1. So this battle now goes on as well. It's all kicking off at the moment. Don't know where to look. Up and down the field. Side by side on the run towards 2 now. Flat out corner, holds around on the grass for Costa Rock. A little bit of mowing there for the WRT driver. And concedes the position to Smithy. Gets the better exit though. Can he get the drive past on the run to 4? This is brilliant side-by-side action between these two. Brilliant side-by-side racing between a lot of these drivers actually. He has a little think about looking up the inside but not close enough. See what's happening with Matt McCallum and DJ. DJ's just sort of holding off in terms of pace at the moment. He's just the stronger driver at this stage of the race. Matt Dernedde will be going for the undercut to hold track position. If I am Mr. McSweeney at the moment, as I run through 12, I do not want to stay out for too much longer. Justin Ladaway into the lane. Ian Ward into the lane. Ridwan Ibn Hamza likes to stay out. His tyres look brilliant. He is looking after those tyres. Something chronic at the moment. Will DJ decide to come in? No, he elects to stay out. Matt McCallum, though, is in. So that's a big, bold move. And, well, will Matt McCallum spit out in relation to Matt Dernedde? Here he comes through the final corner. Fuel going in, though, for Matt McCallum. And it looks like the advantage has paid off. There he is. There he is on the exit of the pit lane. That's a significant advantage gained for Matt Dernedde. After only one lap early, he should gain a significant advantage here on DJ. Might be trying to go for the 3 stop here. I was told 4 stops here may be the way to go for most drivers. And eke it out, you might get a 3 stop. So what will drivers elect to do? Will they go for the 3 stop? Will they go for the 4 stop? I'm hearing Matt Dernedde is on a 4 stop. So the question becomes then for me, what is Art DJ on? What will he do for strategy? Will he try and make this last as long as possible? Go for the 3 stop. That is what we're asking ourselves at this stage. He is being hunted down though by this man who has served his first stop, Ian Ward. Whoop. The wrong button again. Too many buttons to press. And on the controller funny, and it has a bit of a tantrum, so Close eye on this at the moment between these two. Raging on this battle. Ridwan is finally into the lane on lap 12, so he elects to come in. This looks to the outside now, around the outside from Ian Ward, and that's a beautiful move. Not really much to talk about there because the tyre advantage is so significant. Will DJ elect to come into this lap? He does stay to the left and he's in. So this is a crucial stop for this man. Where is Matt Dernedde? Coming through the final corner now. You would think the advantage should be significant here. Would be surprised if Matt Dernedde does not significantly jump him. And Matt McCallum might jump him as well here. He does. Where is he? He's now only leaving the pit lane, fixing some damage, it seems, back out onto the circuit. Significantly behind these guys. Costa Rock has jumped Smithy, so that is a change of position. Milky. Then we've got Warpig and Sandwith going at it at the moment. So Duncan and Sandwith battling away for the back end of the top 10. Has a little look to the inside now. Does Duncan. And LJ opens the steering. Maybe to let him go. Not fighting that one too hard. A little bit of sliding there between the two cars. Now let's go on board with this man, LJ Sandwith. We said we were going to bring you a few onboards. And we'll take you for a lap around this circuit on board with the Team XV driver. Bit of struggle street at the moment for LJ with those tyres. He's not loving life as much as I think he'd like to at the moment. And will he come in? Smithy is into the lane for a stop. So he's made those tyres last as long as he can. And LJ will not stay out any longer. So here we go. For what I believe is his second stop of the race. Just tyres. Smithy will take fuel. And we'll go. LJ should only take... Well, he's taking a little bit of fuel here. Bold call. Won't need fuel later, that's for sure. But is he going to fill all the way up? Probably doesn't need to here. So that seems to be a strategic mistake from Les Sandwith there. Not sure if he was meant to do that. We'll have to keep a close eye on how that strategy pans out for him later on in the race. But this is DJ. Everyone's sort of just on their own at the moment. No one's really seemingly close to each other. Or close enough that it's going to make a difference. I'm going to be joking. Bob Norley sitting in 12th place at the moment. So let's run you through our race order then. Moment while everything is a little bit quiet. So it is your championship leader, the reigning champion, the man with number 1 on the door, Ridwan Ibn Hamza, leading the way in this race over Justin Ladaway and CP Motorsports in second. A great showing from the CP Motorsports drivers so far. The Nissan GTR serving him well at this circuit. And it is Ian Ward for Team XV in third. Man that races on controller. And that makes it a little bit hard to look after the tyres. It definitely makes it easier to catch little snaps of oversteer like that. It is Matt Dernedde in 4th place at the moment. The race winner last time out, looking for another strong result here today. Question marks over what his strategy is though. Is it the 3-stop? Is it the 4-stop? We'll find out as this race wears on. Matt McCallum is sitting in 5th place at the moment. So he's doing a spectacular job as well. And yeah, performing well with that new wheel, serving him quite well. Well, I keep saying well. If I say well one more time, I'll be digging a well and climbing into it. And then it is Darren McSweeney in 6th place. And performing at probably not exactly where he'd like to after that early race contact. But There's plenty of time for him to gain positions back as this race wears on. A question mark over what his strategy is as well, but no doubt he's got something up his sleeve as this race progresses. And then it's Milky or Nick Scott sitting in 7th place at the moment. This is a great start from Milky to this race. He's being hunted down by Duncan at the moment. But I would like to believe that Milky, in fact, qualified in, or Nick's got qualified in 11th place. He is already up to 7th, which is a wonderful result. He's a little bit out of sync with others around him. And same with this man, Duncan. Great start so far to this race inside the top 8. Costarock is battling with Smithy at the moment. So this is a battle that is going on again. These two keep finding their way to each other. And this battle could go on for a little while, but this is 9th and 10th on the road. Coming through the final sector, both cars fresh out of the pit lane. Significantly less fuel for George Smith over Costarock. Body language of the car not really serving Costarock well at the moment. Good play into the hands of George Smith. A little think about the inside turn 1? No. Backs out. A big power slide there. Whoa, that is a massive, massive slide for the ART driver. And it's ART versus WRT. So the showdown of the RTs. In 11th place it is Les Sandwith for Team XV. His team, the owner driver. And then it is Bob Norway, the debutant in the Trackstars Touring Car Main Series. And he is driving full-time for the foreseeable future for PHE Sports, stepping in for Will Bryant, who had to step away due to connection issues that were causing a bit of lag. You might have noticed across the first couple of rounds, made it difficult for him and others to race. Trying to catch up on any stories we might have missed so far. This battle's still going on between Warpig and Milky. A very handy little battle at the moment. We are 16, 17 laps into this race. And I apologise. I was trying to get a little bit of information, try and feed myself a bit of information, give me something to talk about in these long races, because it is a long time. Here we go. This is our race leader, Ridwan Ibn Hamza. I am going to hand you over to the. Oh, actually, we'll go back and have a look at these battles that are going on down the field at the moment. Keep a close eye on that as we go on. This is still going as well. We'll keep a close eye on that. I am going to, for now, hand you over to our race leader, our championship leader, Rooke Matt Dernedde. He's going to take you for a lap or two of this circuit. I'm going to get a quick drink and recharge the vocal cords, and I'll be back very, very soon, I promise. Do not go anywhere. This is round 4 of the Trackstars Touring Car Series here at Alsace. Welcome back. We are about not even halfway through this race, actually. We've got a fair way to go before we get to halfway. But we're on board with this battle at the moment between Duncan and Scott for 7th place on the road. And what a drive it has been from both these men, starting fair way down the grid, finding their way to the pointy end of the field with some very strong strategy calls, and this battle is raging on. I'm just trying to squint at my track map to find if there's any close racing going on besides these two at the moment. I will say this man on screen is as they start to close in this. There we go. This is starting to spice up now. So these three have found their way back to each other, which is what we wanted to see. This man on screen, Darren McSweeney, has the fastest lap of the race, a 37.7. So he is flying at the moment. And Matt McCallum's doing 40s. And Matt Dernedde is struggling for pace a little bit at the moment. That tyre is very worn. He's got no fuel in the car. You'd expect him to be in very soon. Matt McCallum has a look to the outside through 11. We'll get a stronger run through 12 to maybe set himself up into 15. Wide on the grass there for Matt Dernedde. And we run down towards 15 now. Matt McCallum has a look to the inside here maybe. No, not close enough. I would suspect if he doesn't get cut off, Matt Dernedde will dive into the pit lane here. And McCallum will push on. So Dernedde is in. And this battle is going to keep going between DJ and McCallum. Looks up the inside into turn 1. Late on the brakes. And what a move that is. And that gets him up into 4th place now for McSweeney. So that is a great result. Great move up the inside. And a beautiful battle between all three of those drivers. Matt Dernedde jumping out of the way, getting into the pit lane for some fresh tyres. And now these two are left to their own devices. And again, Matt McCallum with the more favourable, I would think, tyre wear, but struggling to match the pace of this man in front of him. Not what you want to see. As we just trying to work out who has pitted again. Who has stayed? I think Costa has stayed out. He's on a relatively fresh set of tyres. How long will they last though? We'll wait to find out. And Milky has just come into the lane. So Milky and Warpig, or Duncan, just come into the lane. They have brand new medium tyres, only the medium tyre available for this race. Then it is Les Sandwith sitting in 10th place. Smithy in the pit lane again. So struggle street for Smithy, getting some damage repair to that front end. Away he goes. And Bob Norley running in 11th place at the moment. So a difficult race for Bob Norley as well. Just trying to save tyres, save fuel, get himself to the end. Maybe find some positions late in this race if he can. That will all depend on what everyone's strategy is. We won't know because there's such diverging strategies happening at the moment on this track that it will not be until the closing laps of this race that we truly know what everyone is doing. But this is our race leader slowly being caught by Justin Lattaway. So this is actually starting to shape up here a little bit for these guys. Justin Lattaway, though, will not be able to stay out much longer. I would suspect will be in this lap. So he's finally caught the man in the lead of this race and now has to disappear into the distance or dive into the pit lane, as will Ward. So that will throw a spanner in the works for these two who are doing their best to try and keep up with this man, but he's just sort of playing with his food, really. He's saved fuel. He's got a bit of damage, which will not be helping him. That will actually put advantage Lattaway at the moment as it sits with that damage for Ridwan, but he's also saving fuel out of this, so we'll get an advantage in the pit lane when it comes to putting fuel in. Here we go, down towards turn 15. I think Ridwan will stay out this time around, but Justin should come in. So we should expect to see Lattaway into the lane this time by. Ridwan elects to stay in. Lattaway elects to stay out. So Ward and Hamza in. Lattaway still on the circuit, reckons he can go another lap. That's a very bold call for the CP Motorsports driver, but he must know something we don't. It's going to hurt him, though, because this is going to be fresh tyres for the man on screen, Rooke Ibn Hamza. And yes, he would have had the fuel advantage, but he has had to repair that damage, so he probably could have come in and been just as close, if not close to being ahead, I would think, of this man. And there is Sweeney chasing down the man that's provisionally in the lead of this race. Matt McCallum sits 4th. Ward back in 5th after that stop, so a long stop for the Team XP driver. Keep in mind that McSweeney and McCallum yet to stop in this race. Well, not in this race, they have stopped in this race. Yet to stop in this sequence. So keep a close eye on them for where they could decide to come in. How much fuel have they got on board? Let's have a look. A fair bit of fuel on board. Not a lot of tyre left on board for McSweeney. And not a lot of fuel left or tyre left on board for McCallum. You'd expect he'd be caught quite quickly here by Ward. Ward in the background. There he is. Brand new tyres. A heap of fuel in the car. Enough fuel. Half a tank. That'll get him a fairly significant distance into this race as we approach the halfway point now. So, 40 minutes down. Whoa, loose there on the exit from Ward. 40 minutes down. About 40 minutes to go as Justin Ladaway now comes in the lane. So where will he pop out? Where is Ridwan? Here he is. Coming into turn 16 now. The final complex of corners. He should jump Justin quite significantly here, I would think. Fuel still going in for Justin. It's a very slow process. Fuel is finished going in. Drives out. There is Ridwan at turn 1. And all that hard work for Justin has come undone because now he's lost all of his advantage that he would have probably kept had he come into the lane. I don't know if he would have kept all of it. Might have lost a little bit, but it wouldn't have been as much as he has now. Matt McCallum is into the pit, so there we go. CP Motorsports serving both cars on the same lap. They've double stacked the cars. And said, righto boys, both of you in. And DJ still pushing on. Not a lot of fuel left on board though now. Getting into the red, flashing. And the car will be giving him a little bit of a warning, saying, come on, we're running out of fuel here. Time to put something in us. Give us some more. We'll have to assess whether he can push on for another lap or whether this is it, whether he'll come in. He's got a fast charging Ward as well, not too far behind. Matt Dernedde sits 4th on the road at the moment. He's a bit out of sequence with those around him though. He came in significantly earlier than McCallum and McSweeney. So he's a bit out of sequence. Obviously pitting on lap 21. We're now on lap 24. So 3 laps ago. And that'll be the difference, I think, between the 3-stop and the 4-stop here for these guys. Is just how long some of these drivers are trying to make the tyre and the fuel last. I would suspect that you'll see this man in this lap. He's sort of keeping up, though, with Justin, which I don't know that's great for McSweeney or if that's concerning for Justin if he's not quite coming to grips with the car in this scene. He is losing a little bit of time, it seems, to Ridwan out in front. Hamza out in front. Ward going quickly in the moment as well. So there we go. Into the lane. Where is Nettie? Here he is. Coming through the final corner now. Kink. Fuel going in. Off into the distance goes Matthew Dernedde. Driving away from this man here. Fuel, 50 litres of fuel. Where's Matt McCallum? He should jump Matt McCallum here, which is good for McSweeney. So will not lose track position to this man here. But will lose track position to this man here who has to make an extra stop. So the foot has to go down. It's hammer time, as they would say. For Matt Dernedde over at MSR. He needs to put in some good laps. 37s, 38s. Not bad lap times. Close to the fastest laps of the race. So he's doing well. In throughout the field. Not a lot exciting happening at the moment. Milky, Scott and Duncan. Not too far apart, but not close enough that it's a real intense battle yet. He'll be feeling the pressure. Scotty will look and see him coming in the mirrors, but nothing too intense. And here he is. Now, this is Bob Norley. Setting after Costa Rock. Trying to get himself into 9th position in this race. I apologise if I sound like I'm a little bit elsewhere. I am poring over data, trying to make sense of what is happening with fuel and tyres and what everyone's doing in this race. It's hard to keep up. And I've got notes here in front of me that I've written. I was fortunate enough to watch this race take place live. This is the second time I'm viewing this race. I didn't pick up on everything the first time, but I made a few notes here and there just to try and keep up with who's doing what. And I have notes about this man that puts in a very good drive on his debut. Qualified excellently and currently sits in 10th after early contact and having to come into the lane an extra time than what he probably would have wanted to. This is looking really good for the Swedish chef, Bob Norley. You go to Bjorken. You got to be joking is how it's pronounced, but in the world of commentary, we like to say you go to Bjorken. And he's a man from Sweden. Wouldn't let him put a Swedish flag on the roof. I'm sure we can get on to Hertz and Hedges about that one. About maybe getting a Swedish flag on the roof for this man. He definitely deserves it. Into the lane though now. And time to put on a fresh set of boots for the number 37? 97. Number 97. What a great number selection. Absolutely love the number 97. Raced by Shane van Gisbergen. Quite famously in the Supercars series, so strong number choice there, I think. And now he'll set after close friends, Les Sandwith, usually on a Sunday night in Les Sandwith's chat. But he won't be in the chat today unless he's texting and driving, and I would hope he's not texting and driving because that would be a little bit irresponsible. Don't do that, kids. And you cut to half-second slowdown for Matt Dernedde. That is going to sting. And here we go. Ward has caught up here to Justin. So Justin is not gelling with the car in this stint. Maybe some adjustments made in the pit stop that have not flowed well enough for him. And now he's coming under pressure from the Team XV driver of Ian Ward. A little bit taily on the exit there, but this battle is starting to shape up for the back end of the podium. He's lap 27 of 47. We have 20 laps to go when these drivers cross the line. And this is Ward setting after Justin Ladaway in second place. So this man on your screen has had a bit of a tumultuous season so far. Definitely not all the results he would have wanted. We will get a full list of his results. We'll get a full list of everybody's results. We'll try and talk about a few people, shall we? While we wait for this battle to begin to unfold. It's starting to hot up a little bit, which is great to see. But we're going to get the standings up in front of me so that I can give you a deep dive, if you will, into what things look like for our live Drivers' Championship. So, coming into this round, this man was he was coming off the back of a 5th place in round 1, so a great start. But race 2, he was disqualified for using a set of soft tyres twice. And then 7th and 12th and 3rd on the podium at Daytona. So a strong showing at Daytona for this man. Justin Ladaway had a difficult Daytona, fastest lap of the race, but only 6th place. Has only been on the podium once so far this season as well. It's 2nd place in the second race, if you will, at Dragon Trail Seaside. And that was a strong start to his season, but he's not where he wants to be, I don't think, into this round. Sitting, if I can get the numbers up in front of me, where he's exactly sitting in the championship at the moment, because I don't have the the graphic there to remind me of what everyone was doing before we got here. I have obviously this in front of me on the screen. He's starting to pull away a little bit from Race Pig now, so I just noticed that gap is starting to grow, but he's coming to this 3rd in the championship, but he's a fair way back on McSweeney, so a little bit of a gap. It's about 37 points, which could be a big swing at the moment if he keeps this up. We could see a change of position in the championship maybe. I don't think so, but it'll be mighty close if the things stay as they are. But Ian Ward is threatening to unravel that at the moment. Whoop, wrong button. End of that time. DJ, though, setting after Matt Dernedde. So he's got pace at the moment. 37.6, fastest lap of the race for him. 37.4 from Ward, who is flying at the moment. And not too far off the back of Justin Ladaway. But this man is starting to close in on Matt Dernedde. So I don't like that button, that trigger, just gets pressed in and just pauses the replay. Apologies for that at home. Ruining the immersion, I know. How rude of me. But he is pushing hard. The lights come on for Matt Dernedde. So the sun is starting to set here. We're getting a lovely sunset twilight race for our drivers. And the shadows are starting to get long. Look at the sun on the side of the car. DJ, though, he won't be looking too much at the weather, at the sun, at the sunset. He'll be focusing on that Rush Spuds Racing Lexus in front of him. Here is the onboard. Look at the camber of the car from this gyro cam. You can just sort of begin to get a sense of how steep some of these bankings are. I'm just going to get the driver's helmet. Here we go. So this is on board with the driver. A little bit of camber there. Dip in the road. He hit the apex quite nicely. Putting in some solid lap times at the moment. Very smooth inputs from McSweeney. Looking after those tyres really well compared to what is a severe tyre wear for Matt Dernedde, and he will have to come in again, I'd say, at the end of this lap. So McSweeney doesn't get him onto the grass for Matt Dernedde. Here we go. A little bit loose. And he goes side by side. I lost him there for a moment. Half second as well for his troubles. That stings for Matt Dernedde, and that is DJ. Darren McSweeney up into 4th place, and Matt Dernedde will have to sit back in 5th. And has a half-second penalty to boot. That is extremely frustrating for the Mash Spuds Racing driver, but I'd say you also come into the lane this lap. So put on a fresh set of tyres. Push on. He'll have one more stop after this, so it will be a 4-stop for Matt Dernedde. You will not get to the end from here on a medium tyre. It's a big ask of the tyre. So he comes into the lane. Before he stopped, Matt McCallum will go past, whereas Warpig, they're a fair way off, so Matt Dernedde will only drop to 6th. And this battle is going on still between Scott and Duncan. They've been inseparable so far this race, which is great. But no one's really managed to make a move on anyone yet. Still close. Here we go. This battle is going on, though. We're starting to see a few battles starting to form up and down the series now, which is excellent. Love to see that. And starting to close in. I'll say Bob Norley is the 3rd driver that's been in that seat this year. Actually, he's not the 3rd driver that's been in that seat because Will Bryant did do the first 4 races of the season, first 2 rounds. Then sun out at Daytona. Looks right on the back of him now. But that's the 4th driver that they've had this season at Hedges. They started the season with Bryant and Lashbrook, and then Lashbrook, I believe, actually no longer has a PlayStation 5, so was not able to compete in the series any further. Was moving into iRacing, so pulled out of the series after round 1. And we might get him in the commentary box later in the season. We'll see how we go. Hopefully we can get him into the booth. But stepped away from the series, so then we had Duncan step in, I should say, sorry. So we had Duncan step in, or BBL Mad Pig, or War Pig as he's known. And then, then we had Bryant, who stepped away due to internet issues, and now this man has stepped in. So the lineup we had to start the season for PHE Sports is completely different to the lineup that we've got now. It's 2 separate drivers. And he's putting the hammer down at the moment. Is Bob Norley trying to find a way this past Les 7. This is brilliant racing between these two at the moment. In towards turn 11 now. Heavy on the brakes through 10. It's an awkward braking zone because you're braking while you're still turning. No one ever wants to be doing that. Not one of my most favourite things to be doing, I will admit. As we watch, he goes past now. So that's a move done. I missed that. I was looking at numbers again. I keep looking at my notes at the wrong time. Milky into the lane. Serve his. So he'll have one more stop after this. Might get to the end, but I doubt it. Don't think you're going to make it to the end from here. If he does, power to him. We'll see how we go. Might have to have one more from here. As Jokin, he's going to have a little look loose on the exit. There's no contact. There's maybe a little bit of side to side. But Jokin, Bob Norley gets past and up into 8th place. So this is a great drive so far. He's relatively in line with this guy as well. So Scott and Jokin, these guys will both have to pit one more time. This could be for position in the race. This could be a 7th place on the cards for Bob Norley if he can keep this up, this performance. He's performing really well, pushing really hard at the moment. And Ward has just started to fall away from Justin Ladaway now. So there is a bit of a gap difference, massive gap difference, I should say, between these guys. And Justin is starting to find his pace. So that was this man on screen. Still in the 38s on half-worn front left. So doing a mighty job, as is this man, Matt McCallum. Matt Dernedde will have to stop again before this race is over. So he'll be on the 4 stop. And Norley's starting to pull away from Scott now. So this gap is starting to grow. And Sandwith do something about it. He's on heavily worn tyres, though. So I don't think there's going to be too much he can do at this latter stage. He'll have to come back in again. They're all going to have to come back in again. But Les more so than others. Look at the results for this man on screen. So let's talk about this man, Les Sandwith. He's had a bit of a tumultuous season. 7th place, a 10th place in the first round at the first 2 races. And then we went to Sardinia, an 11th place and an 8th place. Then he had a 9th place and a 10th place. So it's not 9th place. Sorry. Yeah, and he's currently 10th. That's what I meant. Yeah, so he's at a 9th place. He sits 10th. So on the live points, this actually puts him up into a 7th place in the standings. So not a bad result. Only 9 points clear of Matt Dernedde provisionally if things finish how they are for these guys at the moment. But that's Matt Dernedde with a race win up his belt. So the only driver besides Ridwan Ibn Hamza so far this season to actually win a race. Ridwan has gone 4 from 5 so far. Can he go 5 from 6 today? And yeah, it was Matt Dernedde that ruined the streak. He was on a roll, had 4 in a row, was looking to go 5 in a row, and Matt Dernedde said, "Nah, mate, I think someone else needs to have a turn." And Justin Ladaway, to his credit, has tried to do that today, but just been able to keep up. He's incredibly fast, is Ridwan Ibn Hamza, especially around here, this community vote round. Look at how dark it's starting to get out there now. Get to the pointy end of this race. That is Costa Rock in front in 11th. Blue flags showing. Just I'm trying to get out of the way. Warpig is in the lane. So this is what I'm curious about. Coming through the final corner now. These guys are teammates. Fuel going in. Say Warpig will have to stop again in this race, I would suggest. I don't think he's getting to the end. He might get to the end. I don't know. Putting in enough. He's definitely putting in enough fuel to get to the end. So 58 litres. Definitely enough fuel for him to get to the end of this race. But, question mark for me. Question mark hanging over my head. Is that enough? Is that enough for him to hold on to 7th place with the tyres? Because we know these guys are all going to stop again. Do have to stop again. Matt Dernedde has to stop again. But these 3, especially, Norley, Scott, and Sandwith, will have to take one more set of tyres, and I'd suggest fuel. So where will they pop out in relation to Duncan, and will Duncan have the tyre advantage or any sort of tyre life come the end of this race? That is the question we're going to be asking ourselves as this race wears on. So keep a close eye on what happens. We've got that 15 laps to go, 14 when we cross the line, so 14 laps to go at the end of this one. We're almost at the pointy end. 55 minutes of racing so far. It's been a pleasure to have your company on the broadcast today. Let us know what you're thinking in the comments. And make sure you send thoughts and prayers for myself. I'm losing my mind in this commentary box on my own. It's very difficult. We've been in here for almost an hour of racing. And while there's been a little bit of on-track action, it just gets very difficult trying to talk about things for an hour. Very tiring, and I'm sort of, while I'm disappointed we didn't get to do the race, we didn't get to broadcast the race for Daytona, I'm a little bit glad because I feel like this would have been much of the same story, losing my mind. But Ridwan is going to continue for another lap. So, thinks or believes he has enough fuel to continue on for one more lap, get himself with 12 laps to go, and set himself up for a strong run home, which would be just a nail, icing on the cake. A nail on the cake. It's a nail in the coffin. Icing on the cake for our championship leader. Give him a 5th race win for the season. Fuel going in now for Ian Ward. This is his final stop of the race. He'll have a little bit of damage to repair as well, with some front bumper damage. How much fuel does he think he needs to get home to the end of this race? We're up to 50 litres, 52, 53, 55. Damage repair. Now he will depart the lane. Where is Matt Dernedde? Coming along the front straight. So will not jump Matt Dernedde. And we'll sit 5th at the moment. Not having to stop again. Matt McCallum and McSweeney both yet to stop one more time in this race. So they will. Matt Dernedde will have to stop again in this race as well. So he'll have to settle for 6th place at this stage. How much longer can McSweeney last, though? How much longer can he stay out for? How much longer can Matt McCallum stay out for? Justin Ladaway, where is he? The whole pit stop behind Ridwan. So Ridwan's come in. Not actually, Ridwan hasn't come in yet. Here we go. So, heavy front end damage. That's happened somewhere along the circuit. The walls are pretty close. It's easy to do. You'll have to come in now. Not only repair or put fuel and tyres on, but also repair that damage. Here we go, into the lane, and it is into the lane. Here we go, 2 litres of fuel left on board at the pointy end. Here we go, tyres on for our race leader. Justin Ladaway continues on again. That's a very bold call. I definitely would have come in here, taking advantage of the fact that this man will be on similar age tyres and also has to repair damage. One has just left the lane, maybe? A half second. 3 seconds slowdown for LJ. So that was LJ leaving the lane and has to cross the pit exit line. So will cop 3 seconds. That is a huge disadvantage. Here we go. This is McSweeney in for his final stop. Fuel going in. How much will he need to get to the end of this race? Matt McCallum's also into the lane for his final stop. Matt Dernedde will continue on for now. But this will be all a moot point for Matt Dernedde, who has to stop one more time to make it to the end. I don't think he's going to get here on fuel. He's definitely not going to get here on fuel. That's a big ask. And where will he pop out? Gotta be joking. And Bob Norley, he is 7th place. This is a great comeback drive. After starting 4th, ending all the way up at the back of the pack, he could finish inside the top 8 here, which would be an excellent result for the PHE driver on debut. Dives in the lane for his final pit stop. Here we go. The final stop starting to come out left, right, and centre. Still a while to go for this man on screen, Scott. We'll have to come in again, though. We will confirm that with the fuel numbers. But this man, Matt Dernedde, again, yet to stop. Justin Ladaway, yet to stop. Here we go through the final complex of corners. Where's Ridwan? Not too far behind, actually. So, Justin will dive into the lane, but it will be advantage Hamza. And medium tyres, it's all that's available. Tyres on. Final stop for Justin Ladaway. Fuel in. Where's our race leader? There he is, coming through now. And there it's the race lead. Fuel still going in for Justin. Where is Race Pig? Ian Ward. And out he goes now, back onto the circuit, and that is it. So, fair way behind. A big ask if he wants to catch before the end of this race. Dernedde continues on for now. He'll go as long as he can into this race. I don't know, maybe these guys won't have to stop again. I might run the numbers for you. Or they might have to. But I might be wrong. I might stand to be corrected here. And I'm more than happy to stand to be corrected, but I would think they'd have to stop at least one more time to definitely make sure they get to the end. I don't think there's enough fuel in there for them to get to the end. We'll keep a close eye on that, though. Kosterok chasing after Bob Norley in front. Kosterok's on worn tyres, though, so it would be light work for Bob Norley just to pull away and not be too much, or not have too much of a threat from behind from Kosterok. So process where we're at in this race with 10 laps to go when we cross the line. Here he is. A race leader lapping Les Samwith. Blue flags being shown. Going to cross the line with 10 to go here today. Who have we not had an onboard with yet? Let's have a look at this man. Oh, actually, I'm a big fan of Darren McSweeney. I'm a big fan of all the drivers in this field, but this man especially, he works super hard. His team boss, George Smith, works incredibly hard as well. We'll give him a shout out. One of the league admins being told to give way to faster cars. He's got a Justin Luddaway behind. Does all the graphics that you see for this race. This man here, George Smith, does all the graphics, all the results pages, all the results, the calendar graphic that you'll see coming up, the standings. He did all of that. I do the little race symbol that you can see here. I do the track map, but this man does all the heavy lifting with everything else, getting the results in order, providing them to me so that we can put them on a broadcast. He just works so hard, and his teammate, this man here, Darren McSweeney, he does all of the he does the photos. So he takes photos for me so that when we start our broadcast, when we finish our broadcast, you guys have something lovely to look at, which provides our thumbnail for our videos. And he's just an all-around great guy, incredibly fast. And yeah, just not much else to say really, except for the fact that he's a good bloke. He's catching up to Matt Dernedde though, who has to stop one more time. Look at that front left for Matt Dernedde, just heavily worn. And he's being caught here quite rapidly. Gonna have a look up the inside in the braking zone of 10. This is a bold place to try and make an overtake. And backs out of it. Goes for the switchback though. Will drive past with the superior tyre grip. And that's a great move from McSweeney up the inside of Matt Dernedde in through 12 now. Gets himself up into 4th place after being dead last at the exit of turn 1. He has come back to 4th. And that is a great drive from this man. After a difficult couple rounds, he'll be pleased to be back up into 4th. Could have been 3rd today after being 3rd in... Well, could have been 3rd today after being 3rd in qualifying. Had the pace. Matt Dernedde in for his final stop. And one last time, I'm going to enjoy a nice onboard. This is onboard with Darren McSweeney. Turn the volume up. Enjoy one last onboard for the race. Close he gets to the wall there as well. That's they all do that as well. That's super close to the wall on the exit on the apex of 17, and I think that's where a few of them have been picking up damage from, to be honest. And it's a fair gap between Dernedde and McCullum, so that's going to be a lot of work for Matt Dernedde to close that gap before this race is over. Warpig is Jogan deciding to catch up to Gutton, who has come in for his final stop. So that's a new set of boots for Scott. Now he's going to come under pressure from this man. And Warpig yet to stop. Duncan, so his final stop in this race for another fresh set of boots. He doesn't need fuel. He certainly does need tyres. And He might not need anything, actually, at this rate. But they're starting to catch him. So this is going to be on here towards the end of this race for 7th place. And Bob Norley trying to get himself back into the top 8. Here we go. So this is what we're going to try and keep an eye on as this race progresses, is this battle here on our screens. Yes, confirmed Matt Dernedde. Just getting word from his team that the tyres were just not holding up around here for him, and the 4-stop was the only option. Some drivers, especially in the Nissans, got away with the 3-stop, but Matt Dernedde just not able to get away with that. Did have to serve the 4-stop, and that is why he is now 6th. He could have been 4th in this race if he could make the 3-stop work. Definitely had the pace to do so, and it is a shame, but 6th place is still a strong result. Will net him some solid championship points and put him in a strong position. Not even anywhere near the halfway point of this season yet. We're just over a quarter of the way at the end of this round. Well, we are over a quarter of the way at the end of this round, and that's yeah. So we're barely into this season, and we're already talking about championship points. Ridwan Ibn Hamza, though, is absolutely dominating this championship and this race. But this is the battle that's starting to unfold. Jokin is, Morley, I should say. I keep calling him Jokin. Know him quite well. He's a good friend. Half-second slowdown for Kostrock. Not being a strong race for him today. Definitely one to forget, I'm sure. But teammate coming under pressure at the moment from PH Esports. And will he be able to hold on and handle the pressure, or will he fall back behind this man on our screen, Bob Norley, on debut in Trackstars Touring Cars, trying to cement himself a good position after qualifying 4th. Definitely has the pace to be quick if you can avoid lap 1 contact. And Jokin, if you're watching, oh, let's car backwards. That's Warpig facing the wrong way. I caught that out of the corner of my eye. And that is huge. So that is Warpig with heavy front end damage facing the wrong way. Lost the car, it seems, all on his own. Must have been on the exit. It's so easy to do through turn 3. That'll be super frustrating for the PHE driver, and hands not only Nick Scutt but also his teammate a position each. So Scutt up into 7th. Bob Norley up into 8th. And Duncan, he'll be kicking himself there. Front end damage. He'll have to carry that till the end of the race, but he's got a fair bit of gap between himself and Les Sandwith, so nothing to worry about too much there. This is the battle we now turn our attention to. The lights are on. It's getting very dark out there now, and you have to be careful not to miss your braking marker with no shadows on the circuit. The cloud cover starting to come across as well. Sun going down. It's very, very dark. We've had to open the iris lens on the cameras right up just so we can see the cars. If we put these where they're supposed to go, trust me, you wouldn't be able to see too much besides headlights. So, going into turn 1 now. Battle is going on, checking out at the front. I don't think there's too many exciting battles going on up and down the field besides this one we're looking at on our screen. So, this is a battle where we're at. This is Warpig into the lane. Tyres. No fuel. Oh, no fuel. No, yeah, bit of damage repair. There we go. Where's Les Sandwith coming along the front straight now? So, he'll get blue flags. Have to get out of the way. But this battle's still going on. You can hear the tyre squeal in the background from Bob Norley as he's pushing that car to the absolute limit, trying to wring everything he can out of it. He's got significantly different tyre wear to the man on screen, Nick Scutt, who will come out on top here. 5 laps to go when they cross the line. So we're almost there. Almost to the end of this race. And just hanging in there a little bit longer because we're almost done. I swear I haven't gone insane. I promise. And I've certainly done my best on my own. It's very difficult today. I think I've said that already, but it's definitely very difficult. You're all on your own. These races, an hour and 11 minutes so far of action. We're going to get close to an hour and 20 minutes of racing. Which is a lot of racing. It's a long time. And a long circuit as well. But these guys have done a superb job here. These 250 Ks. And it's not over yet for these two. Still question mark over who will finish ahead. Yet to be decided, TBD, as we start lap 43 for these guys now. Who's our race leader at the moment on the circuit? Is there any danger of lapping these guys? He's a fair way behind. I don't think he's going to catch unless there's a major incident between them. So these should be the last of the non-lapped cars, I would suggest. This battle could go on all the way to the end. This man, at the moment, racing in VR, has a look to the outside. He got a good exit off of 3 through 4 now. A good run through here. It'll set him up into 5. Milky goes a little bit defensive. But nothing doing there this time for Joker. He's getting great exits, though. The tyre grip is there for him at the moment. Side by side through 6, in towards 7 now. Around the outside for Bob Norley. And what a move that is on Nick Scott around the outside through 7 into 8 now. You'll have to try and hold on. And the tyre life is in favour of this man here, Nick Scott. But it looks like, for now at least, that Bob Norley has got this done. And he's lapping, still line astern. He's not got away from him just yet. And Scott is saying, hey man, I'm still here. Don't think you're getting away with that one too easily. Although I know he certainly would like to. He wouldn't want to worry about him too much. He's racing in VR. He's got the goggles on. And he'll be looking in the rearview mirror, trying to work out where this WRT car is. Whether he's going to go for a move or not. It looks like it might just be settling in the direction of Bob Norley at the moment. And what a move that was around the outside through 7. Just gripped up for him more than I thought it would at this age of tyre. So it's actually done quite well to hold it there and not give up, because these cars are notorious for just letting go sometimes under extreme loads when the tyre is worn. So he's used that aero to his advantage, found his way past and up into 7th, and this is a great comeback drive on debut. Speaking of great comeback drives, this man, Darren McSweeney, 4th place, should have been a podium, I think. Still doing a spectacular job in 4th place after being last at the start of it. And Justin Ladaway, tried his best. He's thrown everything he could at our championship leader today, but it just hasn't been enough to keep up with the FR Racing #1 driver. And that's why he's the reigning champion, Ridwan Ibn Hamza. Blue flags, and that is Duncan in front. So blue flags being shown for the PHE car. He will go a lap down at some point very soon, I would suggest, as they run through 7. Now towards 8. He might want to stay in the way for too long. Where is he? Get him, here he is. Blue flags are being shown. Need to get out of the way as to not impede. You don't want to impede Justin Ladaway, that's for sure. He's doesn't take too kindly to being impeded. Obviously, understandably, you never want to be impeded at any point, whether you're racing someone in front of you or not. Not a very nice feeling. So, heading after. Car in front, a little bit understeer there for the PHE car. This car's still on fresh tyres, struggling for grip. And he's still yet to get out of the way. Blue flag still being shown. And I believe it's when you're within a second. I don't exactly know how it works. I think it's within a second on ACC. I think when the car is being shown on the track map down the bottom, so you can see that the car is just on the track map. If that car was to disappear off the track map like that, blue flags are no longer shown. Then as soon as the car appears on the track map again, blue flags are shown. So we're holding pace at the moment. 39s at the moment for Duncan, and for Justin's 39s as well. So they're similar race pace, not a huge difference. He's not impeding Justin really at this stage of the race. Make sure you get out of the way where you can. Ridwan Ibn Hamza, though, this man out in front, got a lap and a half to go, and he's going to make it 5 from 6 this season. What a drive it has been for this man. I don't really think there was anyone that ever questioned him coming into this season about whether he will win this championship. And if there was anyone that questioned him, they're certainly not now. Matt Dernedde, race winner last time out, 6th place after qualifying in believe he qualified in 8th. So this is still moving forward. That's a positive for, it is, he qualified 8th. So that's a positive for the MSR driver, the sole MSR driver in the field today. And take those positives where you can for this man. I'm sure he'll just be happy to bring home some solid points. And let's Sam with the day to forget. He's got, Kosterog looking up the inside here. Late move, late battle for these guys maybe, potentially, in this race. We've got a blue flag behind us, so they'll have to keep that in mind. This could be a battle for the last spot in the top 10. Kosterog, he's got the tyre life over Les. This will be the final lap for these guys, so this is the last opportunity for him to do it. Where is our race leader? There he is. I'll keep an eye on him. We don't want to really look away from this battle too much. Through down towards turn 3 now. Heavy on the brakes. He's got the better drive at the moment. Our race leader. There he is. Close eye on him. I know which dot's his now, so I know what I have to do to let him know, but well, when he's going to get there towards the end of this race. But blue flags could play a factor here. LJ won't want to hold his teammate up, but he also won't want to lose a spot. So we'll keep it very close. We'll try and keep one eye on that, but we're going to have to jump back to this man here, Ridwan Ibn Hamza. What can we say? He's been absolutely flawless this season for the most part, except for last time out where he came 4th. So he's only finished off the podium once this season, but he's going to stand back on the top step today. The lights are flashing. It is victory in Alsace in round 4 of the Trackstars Touring Car Series for Ridwan Ibn Hamza. Justin Ladaway will come through to get his 2nd podium of the season and finish in 2nd place. And Ian Ward will, as he looks up the inside there to try and get past Kosterog. And he will come home to round out this podium for Team XV. And a great result for him. And McSweeney from the back of the field to 4th place. A great result for him today as well. Matt McCallum will come home and just not too far away from Matt Dernedde. Was starting to catch, but the tyres fell off so quickly for this man. He used a lot of the tyre just to try and catch up, and Matt McCallum will come home in 5th. Matt Dernedde will come home in 6th. I believe this man here, Bob Norley, on debut, will hold on to finish in 7th place. And what a result that is for this man to come home on debut to finish in 7th. Very impressive indeed. Early contact after qualifying 4th. And early contact with McSweeney, but he kept his nose clean for the remainder of the race and held on to finish in 7th place. We'll jump over now, though, to show you our full race results. What a race that was into the twilight for our touring car drivers. What a race. What a result for Ridwan Ibn Hamza, who takes the victory here, making it 5 from 6 so far this season. We'll have a look at what that does for the championship very shortly. But Justin Ladaway in 2nd, Ian Ward 3rd. Then it was Darren McSweeney, Matt McCallum, Matt Dernedde, Bob Norley on debut, Nick Scott in 8th. A great result for him as well. It's very strong. I believe that is, I'll double check, but I believe that is his first time in the top 8 this season, which is an excellent result. It's not his first time in the top 8 this season. No, it is. No, 2nd. Finished 8th at Daytona as well. So 2nd time in the top 8 this season. What a result. Then it is Duncan in 9th. Let's Sam with a bit of a race to forget in 10th place. And then Kosterog, George Smith, races didn't go their way either. So very difficult. But what does this do for the championship, I hear you ask? Well, let's take a look. It is Ridwan Ibn Hamza still out in front. No surprises there. McSweeney holds on to 2nd, but it's only what is that? Quickly doing maths in my head. 9-point gap. No. 7-point gap. Sorry, I had to do maths. 7-point gap between McSweeney and Ladaway. So the points are starting to swing back the way of the CP Motorsports team and Justin Ladaway. And he's Matt McCallum. Oh, sorry, whacked the microphone there. That is Matt McCallum in 4th in the standings from Ian Ward, who falls back a few points here over drivers around him. And that is great for him to be up into 5th place. And Nick Scott, 6th in the standings. Then it's Les Sam with Matt Dernedde jumps up into 8th, which is a great result. So jumps up into the top 8. And then it's Kosterok and George Smith. Obviously, note that Nick Pautasso dropped out of the top 10 after not participating in this race. Wasn't racing today. But what does this do for the teams as well? Well, DP Motorsports, they now lead the team standings. A strong result for the team with a 2nd place and a, second place and a 5th place. And obviously no Luke Smith tonight for FR Racing. They took a hit. And now CP Motorsports put themselves in the box seat to lead this championship after only one quarter of the season, round 4 gone. So 1 quarter way through the season, they lead the championship, and that is crucial for those guys. ART Motorsport will sit 3rd, then it's Team XV in 4th, WRT, Mash Spuds Racing, and PHE Sports in 7th place there. What a result. I have to as well, we have to mention Driver of the Day. I've got to give it to Darren McSweeney as well. What a comeback drive for him. Obviously, I keep talking about it, but I'm just so impressed. Performance that he put in today. Well done, Darren. Thoroughly deserved 4th place. Great result, and Driver of the Day for you as well. Now, looking forward to the future. What have we had? Well, let's look at the past first. What have we had? We had the Dragon Trail 300 to kick off the season. Then we had the Sardinia 250. Then we had the Daytona 250. We've just had our Alsace Community Vote 250 as well. Next week, we'll go to the Streets of Tokyo. The Streets of Tokyo 300, 250-kilometer races coming your way next week. That'll be super exciting. The street circuit. And the walls get very close there. There's no room for error at Tokyo Expressway. So very excited for that one. And then we obviously head for the Deep Forest Sprint, 3 100-kilometer races. Our first 3-race format of the season. Then round 7, the halfway point of the season, we kick it off with our first endurance round, the Spa 500, a staple of the Trackstars Touring Car Series are the endurance rounds. The Enduro Cup, we kick things off in Belgium. 500 kilometers of racing will take place on the 21st of September. Get excited for that one. And then the back half of the season, it is the Watkins Glen Super Sprint, 4 75-kilometer races. We do 2 races around the short layout, 2 races around the long layout. That is going to be absolutely incredible. Cannot wait for that. Watkins Glen is a brilliant circuit. And then, oh boy, my favorite race of the season. It is the week after the Bathurst 1000. Does not get any bigger than this. The Bathurst 1000, the Enduro Cup, 1,000 kilometers of racing taking place across the Sunday. And then it will be round 3 of the Enduro Cup for the St. Croix 1000. Obviously, again, the endurance rounds, the staple of the Trackstars Touring Car Series here. And the 2-driver format, cannot wait for that. Then we head to Monza for 225-kilometer races, the Monza 250. And it's the Green Hell 300 at the Nordschleife. That'll be a challenging race. We opened our season up last season, the 10th anniversary season, with our Nordschleife race. And this, we put it towards the pointy end of the season. Then it's the Red Bull 250 at, I believe, it is at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. So that'll be some exciting, some very close racing and sprint racing indeed. And then it is the Suzuka 300, 300-kilometer race to round out our season. And what a finale that will be. We're very much looking forward to that. But that will do it for today. That is all we have time for. Thank you so much for your company. Thank you for watching along at home. If you were active in the chat saying things, we appreciate it so much. We make sure to drop a like on the broadcast if you did enjoy. Share it around. We'll be back next week for the 225-kilometer races at the Tokyo, 250-kilometer races, sorry, for the Streets of Tokyo 300. Cannot wait for that one. But until then, thank you so much for your company. I've been Isaac Fogarty. We'll catch you next time. Goodbye.